let's get Finley on here. Break the news. Brian Finley.
Here we go.
There we go.
Breaking news from Fox Sports.
Like this was any surprise, guys. The MVP.
Well, it was to Rob.
Was it really, Rob? Did you vote
He
on
thought
this?
it was going to be
No, I did not,
somebody
Chris.
else.
Not after he stumbled the last 10 days of the season, but before that, when he had a chance to be a Vlad Jr. a Triple Crown winner, I thought that there would be a race, but obviously he faded at the end. But go ahead, Brian Finley. Break the news.
Yeah, that he is Shohei Ohtani. He takes home the AL MVP award by unanimous decision. And as I send it back to you, Chris and Rob, what's it about the Angels? They win all these awards, but they can't win any games.
No, you're right. And look,
you know what it's called? It's
baseball
called
to me.
pitching. It's called pitching. And if you don't have pitching, it's going to be hard for you to win.
It's hard to. You can't dominate. One player can't dominate baseball like they can basketball, and even to a lesser extent football. But go ahead, Rob. I know you want to say something. You want to show Shohei some love.
No, of course. And you know what? When you look at his season and what he was able to accomplish doing something we hadn't seen since Babe Ruth, I want to say this, Chris. I'm going to go a little off the beaten path. I'm going to sit here, yes, and I'm going to admit that I was wrong. And not about him winning.
Alex, save that drop.
I
You need
was
it
wrong.
about 7 times a day. 7 times per show.
And not about Shohei Ohtani winning the MVP, because I knew he would once Vlad, and I said the only way he wouldn't is if Vlad had the Triple Crown. Okay, so I wasn't wrong about that.
Even
But what
then.
I was wrong about was that when a player comes from abroad, we've seen players, Ichiro, Hideki
great.
Matsui, who had good
was
careers,
good.
Chris, right? Really good. Hideki won a World Series MVP with the Yankees in 2009. Godzilla hit those monster home runs at Yankee Stadium. People loved him. Ichiro was unbelievable with the Mariners, and then he bounced around at the end of his career, a couple teams. He was tremendous. But it isn't often that guys really live all the way up to their potential. Like when Ohtani got here, Chris, injuries, a flash in the pan, he pitched a few games, he can't complete them. He looked okay in the beginning. You remember? If you remember, people were ripping on him. He couldn't touch the ball. Remember, he had problems even hitting when he first came over and he had to make an adjustment. Right. So nobody really knew how good he was going to be and whether all the clamor for him and all the talk about him, he'd ever fill those shoes and live up to it. But I'm here to say there's no doubt about it that the scouts were right. Everybody who saw him, the Angels who poured in all this money, Chris, you remember a lot of teams poured in a lot of money just for the right to sign him. He picked the Angels, and you know what? He lived up to it. He's something that not often do players ever really reach their full potential, and not that his career is anything close from being over, but he did it, and a unanimous MVP in the American League says a lot about what Ohtani is, what he was, and what he will be moving forward. This dude is a bona fide star who has separated himself. I know other guys have won and had seasons with higher WARs, maybe, Chris, or better WARs in baseball. Mike Trout was a unanimous MVP in 2013 or 2014, not that long ago, so it's not like it's never been done. But Ohtani lived up to the billing, and he was must-see TV if you got a chance to watch him. I know nights when he was pitching, I would make sure that I watched if he was on the mound because he pitched, and I got to see him get 3 at-bats. So I'm gonna say I was wrong that he lived up to all the hype, and it doesn't normally happen. I was wrong.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further in your praise of Shohei, and I'm going to say this, Rob Parker. All things considered, this was the best individual season in Major League Baseball history. This is the now, he didn't just hit and pitch. He did both at an extremely high level. He did both at a star level. He hit at a superstar level. 46 homers. What was that? Second in the league, Rob G. What get that?
Second
what
in the
was
league
that?
too. I thought
Was
it
it
was
second in the league?
to Vlad Jr. Didn't Vlad Jr. have more?
I'm not so second in the league to Vlad. How many Vlad Jr. have? 47? So 46 homers. For some context, Rob, you know how many seasons Hank Aaron, the home run king next to Barry Bonds, how many seasons Hank Aaron had when he hit more than 46 home runs?
I would say he never hit 50, so I say Hank Aaron hit once.
You're right. One
Chris,
season
it's
where he had
unbelievable.
more than
Right.
46 home runs. So this guy hit 46 home runs. Barry Bonds only had 4 seasons where he
Everybody
hit more than
thinks
46.
that Barry Bonds hit like 60 home runs every year after the juice,
Right.
stuff. He didn't.
never hit 50 other than the one
Only
year.
the
He's
one
73.
time, right. The
Right.
73, Chris, is the only time he ever hit over 50.
So think of someone doing that and then at the same time pitching with going 9-2 on the mound and having a 3.18 ERA. This is the equivalent of somebody in the NFL playing quarterback at the all-pro level, and then playing linebacker at a Pro Bowl level. So you're a superstar quarterback. I'd say he's a superstar hitter with 46 homers, bunch of RBI, and led the league in triples. And then I'd say he was a star-level pitcher. So you're a superstar quarterback, star-level linebacker. That would be the best thing we've ever seen. And so I'm saying it, Rob Parker, and I see, and some people say they didn't even make the playoffs. In baseball, it's different. Barry Bonds never won a World Series, and he's the best thing I ever saw in baseball. And so baseball, one player just can't affect the game as much. So I'm saying it, Rob, this was the best individual season because he went both ways, so to speak, that we've ever seen.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but, that's another story.
Seinfeld reference for you young.
That's a Seinfeld, right. Even Chris got that from Seinfeld. Very
I remember
good, Chris.
seeing that.
You remember
I
that
saw
episode, right?
Yeah.
You know what? That's good hyperbole, Chris. It's hard for me to buy in. I get what he did. I think you're giving him a little more juice. It's for his pitching. I think he's like a number 3 starter.
3.1,
yeah,
Rob.
But
That's top 20
not
ERA. That's a better ERA than Garrett Cole had this year.
Yeah, but that's not. But he didn't have enough innings. You know what I mean? Like Garrett.
I get it. He only had 130, but that ain't
right.
50.
No, I get it, but it's still like when you say that there's the other part of it, like he's not an ace pitcher, and I'm not knocking him. I don't want to be here and feel like I'm knocking him. He's not an ace
like
starter.
you're knocking.
He's not. No, he's not your number.
You don't think he could be an ace?
He's not your number 1 starter. No, I don't believe that. I think that he's
3.1, Rob.
a 2 or 3. Well, I have to see him
That's a
pitch
heck of
more.
an ERA.
I have to see him pitch more.
And you know
You can
130
do that, and
innings
you
is a legit. Don't you think that's a legitimate sample size? 130.
How many starts did he have?
Well, he went 9-2.
Right. How many starts?
I don't know
Rob
exactly
G?
how many.
Can you look at the starts?
I'll look it up.
Because a pitcher normally, a starting pitcher, Chris, might make 35 starts in a season, right? That's what your ace pitches 35 times. What did he pitch? 20? 21?
We'll get it in a minute. Yeah.
All right. I'm just.
He started
I don't want
23 games. He started 23
okay.
games.
I'm just saying 35 is like your ace. And I'm not knocking him. I don't want to sound like that today on his day that he deserves. And all the people who had a vote.
More innings than Jacob deGrom by far.
Well, we know that because Jacob was hurt, Chris, and he didn't pitch
we
that
love
much.
Jacob deGrom.
Right. Yeah, it's an incredible season for him. And you see they went out and got Syndergaard. You saw that, Chris, from the Mets.
Yep.
So they
That's
understand with Trout coming back healthy, Ohtani, they got to get pitching. So they might make a play. I'm going to say it right now. They might make a play for Max Scherzer. Just remember that. Like make a real, he's already in L.A. He's
should,
already in
yes.
L.A. Move him down to Anaheim, right?
Yep.
And pay him what he wants. Add to those guys you got. You got to have pitching. You can't waste Ohtani. You can't waste Trout.
All right. So is it the best season ever or not?
No, it's not.
And what's better?
Barry Bonds' year where he had an 11 WAR, and you could poo-poo it because of all I know
So
is
now
all his
all of a
stats.
sudden you're in the war.
No, I'm
I've
just
never
saying.
ever heard you reference war before.
No, but I'm saying it's just a barometer that the young kids use. I would say that season anyway, walked like 225 times. Chris, you remember the year.
Oh,
it's incredible. He batted
He
batted 350. He had 73 home runs. He had 100 more than 100 RBIs, 200 walks. It was the most unbelievable
incredible.
season I'd ever seen.
It was incredible. I'll give you that. It was the best year I've ever seen at the plate. And many people, I mean, that's obviously, many people have had better seasons hitting the ball than Shohei
Right.
and pitching than Shohei.
Right.
But the fact, Rob, that he did both, I mean, again, picture Aaron Rodgers being like,
a quarterback and a linebacker.
Micah
right,
Parsons as a linebacker. I mean, sir, like, how can that not be the best ever? But